This year's conference was entitled Rooted, but I've renamed the sermon this morning for There Is No Resurrection Without a Crucifixion. And in fact, to celebrate that, I wore a little crucifix that I was given when Cindy and I were doing volunteer work in Mexico. Now, it's not typical for me to wear a crucifix because I believe in the risen Christ, the Christ of the here and now. And this is the crucified Christ who died for our sins, but it doesn't show the resurrected Christ unless I turn it over to the other side. Then it's the resurrected side. So, and the reason that I chose this title for my sermon is because the church is going through change. Change that we, in this church, have already gone through. You know, we're not mired in ideology that's an exclusionary ideology. We're mired in a theology that is open to all. So attending the annual conference of the Methodist Church is always a joy for me. And it goes without saying that again this year, it was a spirit-filled experience. As you may already know, Blair Gould was the named deacon. Blair Gould, who grew up in this church, named deacon now. And our district superintendent, Steve Beckhold, which all of you know, has been appointed to the Sparta United Methodist Church. The evening of the first day, the gray skies, fog-filled evening, the chilly wind off the ocean, seemed like a portent of things to come. And amid the flowing blessings were signs of discontent. Before the annual conference, those of us who are attending receive a pre-conference booklet. This year our responsibility was to vote for a representative for the next general conference. I made my selections based on a short written information provided by each applicant, and mine were based on what seemed to be indicators of LGBT sympathy. I shared this with our administrative board and they approved. Now most of you don't know this, but many years ago, we had a minister who, as part of a sermon, said that gender orientation was genetically determined and not necessarily a life choice. Many members of our church at that time were so upset that at the end of the service, they made it clear that they would never darken their doors again. They did not know about or accept that what he was saying was part of a scientific body of knowledge that was emerging at that time. Please don't be upset today at what I am saying, that you decide not to come back. We would have an empty church if you decided not to come back. But more on that later. God has blessed us in so many ways. We must be rooted in Christ so that we can experience our whole God in order to weather the coming storms. Storms that we have experienced in the past and that we will continue to experience in the future. As the Methodist Church changes to become a more inclusive church, there are many who will struggle to accept those changes and many who will cling to an exclusionary theology, forgetting that Jesus welcomed and healed all who sought him out, reminding us to mind our own business rather than others. And as we know, when Jesus was asked, who is our neighbor, chose a beaten person that most in the parable decided to ignore or avoid. The Greater New Jersey Conference, we have over 11,000 lay servants. And in this small congregation alone, at one time we had 5 lay servants. I'd like to see that come back. I'd like to see 5 or 6 lay servants come back. And it may be a little bit difficult road, and it's a commitment. It's a road of commitment. But we deserve to become lay servants sometimes. Servants, and it was during this session, this particular session, that we heard from and later voted for those who would represent us in our next general conference. And I was disappointed that none of the representatives that were approved by the administrative board the many mission projects. I've left booklets on the table outside. It talks about the mission projects of the Methodist Church, talks about the Methodist Conference this year, gives you an overview of what the Methodist Conference was all about, but I won't have, well, I do have time to go into those details, but I won't do that this morning. During the Monday bagging session, 30,000 meals were packed. 30,000 meals were packed in one Monday morning. In addition, each conference year, a healing service is conducted by representatives from the Lenape Native American tribe, and it's held in recognition of the many wrongs that they have suffered. You may remember that after one session, I returned with tobacco enclosed in a red cloth bag, which was a representation of the healing that took place during that service, and an offering from the Lenape representatives to the greater congregation. The New Jersey Conference has been at the forefront of working and healing with Native Americans and with the Black community, working to resolve the split between Black churches by reuniting in one conference in the more distant past, and continues in that healing practice in working with others to have greater integration of our schools. New Jersey is the fourth most ethnically diverse state in the nation. However, it has the worst record for school integration of any other state in our nation. The Methodist Conference has joined in a lawsuit against the state, asking for a plan to integrate schools, which might include busing and other endeavors in that way. The state has had this plan. We heard about this plan first 2 years ago when the court, the past head of the Supreme Court in New Jersey came and spoke to us about this lawsuit. Somebody off the Supreme Court at that time and was representing himself as a private citizen, but was at the forefront of this school integration plan. So New Jersey has had 2 years to respond to it, and thus far has not responded to it. Years in the making, this lawsuit finally needs to be answered by the state at the end of June of this year. They're finally up against the end of time for this lawsuit. Hopefully they'll respond in an affirmative way, or I imagine the Methodist Church will continue in this effort. It's not something that says, oh, well, we lost. We're going to drop the ball. Nothing can change. You know, we're wired in our old ways of school segregation and times of the past. We shall be a tree planted by still water, sending our roots out to a community in need. This, our church, must be a tree planted in still water, sending out our roots to this community in need. The bishop reminded us that to withstand times of change that bring on fear, we need to be planted like that tree with deep roots. The Bible contains the words, "Fear not," 365 times. And the bishop, who is a powerful and engaging speaker, told us a story about himself. As a young person, he was terrified that he would be called on to speak in public. Even in the classroom, always planning on ways to be out of the center of attention. Life changed significantly for him, so that at one point he was called on to speak in public. This experience did not change his fear of public speaking. However, as he matured and grew in church responsibilities, he slowly overcame the fear. Are we, in the same way, willing to overcome our fears of whatever the future may hold, working to maintain our commitment to the United Methodist Church, remembering always that we love and worship God and happen to do so in a Methodist sanctuary, whether we were baptized in this particular church or came to it later in life? Another little aside. in looking around the congregation, except for maybe Craig, I don't think any of you remember the first time that I gave a sermon. I was speaking in front of my peers. I was leading a service in front of my peers. People who had known me for a long time. People who knew about my ups and downs, my whatever in life that would come burst forth at certain moments, both joy and anger. And I stood up here, and I clung to this, and I had my water. Oh, it needs to be the Red Sea that needs to be parted by Moses. Fortunately, I wasn't shaking so much that I spilled my water. However, if I remember correctly, I used to have to take it up. So you might see my hand shaking. I would take a little sip, hoping that you would say, well, Sam's a little shy, and he doesn't want to see him drinking water from the congregation. And it's that experience of not being a trained minister, that experience of standing up in front of your peers that can bring out the best in you, the best in me, or maybe the worst in me. Sometimes it brings out the worst in me. So I'm not comparing myself to our bishop, but I do know that fear does not necessarily disappear with one or two sermons. That it's taken me years to believe that you're with me in this, and that you're helping me along by your time and by your attention. Richard Rohr, in his book, The Universal Christ, writes, I am afraid that many of us have failed to honor God's always unfolding future and the process of getting there, which includes some form of dying to the old. The bishop talked about 3 sins of leaders that they often commit: callousness, contentment, and cautiousness, and retold the familiar parable that Harold read early from Luke about the rich man and the beggar Lazarus, an example of these sins. And if we review that, we go home and we review that parable, you can see how the rich man met all of the criteria for being a lousy leader. He was not willing to step out and help an impoverished person who was sitting by his table. At the bishop's first general conference in 2004, a resolution stating that the church would remain united. And that resolution was adopted. And we again are going through a time of renewal. However, we know that changing a few words in the book of discipline, which is homosexuality is not compatible with Christianity, is not going to change the hearts of people. We need to participate in a way forward that blesses all and turns the church outward, encouraging what we have in common, while allowing for change that will help in maintaining the unity of the United Methodist Church. And as we know, changing our hearts, requires much more than legislation. Are we at Harmony Hill preparing ourselves for the next step God has in store for us? Our bishop encouraged us not to be cautious about everything we do, just because we might lose a couple of people. Further, we cannot succeed without failing at points along the way, and any progress takes faith and courage. And if we examine our own life, we can see that moving ahead from childhood to teenagehood, young adulthood to adulthood, and senior citizenhood, and that comes, takes courage. You know, we have to die to our past. I can no longer 1.5 marathon. And I can't be situated in that past. I can't be saying, oh, Sam, look at the old glory days when you could run a half marathon. I have to die to that. And I have to be present to what I can do now. The Greater New Jersey Conference has formed a way forward committee. This committee is comprised of many laity and clergy, and in October of this year, we will have an additional conference to learn about their conclusions on how all of us will experience this way forward. The bishop made a request for patience until the committee can meet and then make recommendations. However, and this is the interesting part, after this request for patience, a number of people and groups took to the microphones that are scattered around the conference center to give their opinions. And one large church has already made a request to disassociate themselves from the Methodist Conference, thus demonstrating their inability to be patient. Yes, there may be storm clouds and chilly winds ahead. And since our roots are planted deep, we will be able to weather this storm. The last presentation during the conference was a workshop on developing an outward mindset and how we can achieve that. In part, this discussion was on the difference between conservative and liberal mindset. And it was an interesting enough presentation that sometimes at the administrative board wants a off-Sunday discussion about that, how we can change mindsets from not just conservative or liberal, but come together in the middle. I can do that, and Pastor Nancy can work with me on that. But let me just share with you a little bit of the difference between a conservative mindset and a liberal mindset. I'm going to use Cindy and myself as an example. I'm sort of a conservative guy. When I talk about something, I like to be correct. I like to know what the facts are. I like to say, this is right, and it's right because I read about it, I studied about it, and regardless of what you say or who you are, I'm right. I've tried to change that some. Hard road to hoe. Cindy, on the other hand, is a people person. I used to say, I don't like to introduce Cindy to any of my friends because guess what? They're no longer my friends, they're her friends. Cindy has a liberal mindset. She's an outgoing person. She makes friends all over the place. She remembers their name. She remembers their birthday. So that's the difference. I want to be right. I want to be correct. Cindy wants to be inclusionary. She wants to bring people in. She wants to reach out and make us an inclusionary church. Me, on the other hand, I want it to be inclusionary too, but I still want to be right all the time. In the meantime, we need to continue to pray for our church and to bless each